Hi there. This is part two of keyword researching a local business that doesn't have a website yet. First, we did the overall keyword research and then put it into our keyword grouping tool, Keyword Cupid, and it is done now. So now that it's finished, I'm going to download it and start creating the content plan. We won't have I'll probably go through and format it all and then do a couple instances of filtering out keywords, but I probably won't do the entire thing. That would take hours and hours and hours. So the end result of this will be a formed and somewhat filtered content strategy. Okay, so we're going back to our content strategy Google Sheet. I'm going to import. I'm going to do insert new sheet. It'll insert a new tab. If you do replace, it'll replace the entire thing, all your tabs. If you do create new, it'll put it in a new document. So insert. Okay, so after you upload that, the data from Keyword Cupid, you'll get this. It'll have all of the keyword silos, just the big silos, meaning you have your theme and then it has, a lot of keywords. That's a big silo. Then you have your small silo of fewer keywords, and singles where you just have single keyword silos. Keyword silo is just a group of keywords. In this case, I would call them pages. What I am going to do is actually delete the big and the small silo tabs and the single tab. Now we have all the silos. Make sure that the first row is fixed. It is fixed, so I'm not going to do that. But so now what we're going to do is filter and remove all the spaces here. We just want the blanks. I'm going to do Command Shift down, delete the rows. And then unfilter, and now we have everything all nice and tidy like that. I'm gonna filter these format these a little bit, make them all about this height. There we go. I like to change supporting keywords to potential query or potential keywords, because you may not be able to add them all in, or it might not make sense to add them into the page. So they're just potential options. This also prevents you from having to go through and clean up everything, because if you say supporting keywords, well, then it implies that these should be on the page, and then you have to go ahead and clean up the entire thing. And I've done that before. It's not even worth it. If you give someone a little bit of SEO knowledge, they're going to understand that just because there's a big list of keywords on there on the content outline doesn't mean that they need to use them all if it doesn't make sense to. And plus, some of these groupings aren't going to have the best. They aren't going to be grouped. This isn't grouped perfectly. It's just grouped pretty well. I guess maybe I should explain this. So the page theme is the main keyword. It thinks is the main keyword. I like to change this a lot of the time, and because uh, it shows it basically probably by search volume, but I want our pages to be intent focused. And so if I think a different word in the potential keywords is better, I will actually replace it and then use everything else as a supporting keyword. But right now I'm just formatting to do that. We could just do volume. I like to do 2 rows because sometimes the text up here makes the column wider than it needs to be. And this competitive data a lot of the time can be helpful. And so let's take average CPC, for example. I know I've explained this in other videos, but if we have, pretend this is 780 and this is 780, and let's see if there's another example. I don't know, let's look at this. Pretend we're going between this and this, right? You might say, well, the volume's higher, so I'll go with that. But then the difficulty here is higher than this one. Well, okay, how do we break the tie? Well, let's see the value of the keyword. An average CPC is the value that an advertiser is willing to pay to rank for this keyword in Google Ads. So if I see that this is $6 and this is $6, I'm thinking I might go after this keyword. Now, ignore the intent. Just assume that they are very similar and I'm trying to go between keywords. Or pretend you're trying to determine which keywords you should start with in your blog, and you realize that if you go by volume, a lot of these keywords are really difficult, and so you want to rank faster. So which ones do I go after? Well, sure, you might filter by volume, but then average difficulty. But then what's most profitable to the company? Well, if I rank for this and it's more valuable than another keyword, it can help you make your decisions that way. A lot of the time I've chosen the higher value keyword when all other things are similar. And the reason is because I want to provide value quickly. And if we're delivering this to a client or even for ourselves, then we want to create valuable content first. Okay, I'm actually going to go through, edit these. I'll pause and come back. Right after I said that, I realized that there are some things I'm actually going to get rid of in here. I'm going to get rid of meta keywords. That's useless. Average H1s means that this is the average amount of H1s on competing pages that rank for these search terms. Same thing for the H2s. So, this group, all the competitors, top 10 competitors for this group tended to have 7 H2s. So they probably have pretty well organized content. And H3s, 4, so again, average bolded keywords. That's something to keep in mind. Bold the important keywords. Average links, I don't know if that's internal or external. I should look into that. Keyword Cupid has that on their site. 200 response. These are kind of useless for content. Sometimes they're helpful, but most of the time they're not. It's up to you on whether or not you want to keep these 404 response. You might use that if you're thinking, well, if you're trying to determine what to prioritize, you might think if the competitors in this grouping tend to have 404s, well, maybe that's a good option because they don't have existing pages. So I think this was response time in seconds, which means they're slow. All these colors mean stuff as well. I'll probably get rid of the colors. Average images. So images are important. This just again helps you format your content. So let's do that. No, we'll do that yet. average. How about KD? I'm gonna do page status, or actually, let's see, month status, writer. Let's see, outline writer, editor, publisher. Let's do, I like to put the task owner closer. Task owner is who owns it right now. So, you know, pretend person A is going to write the outline, but that's different than the writer. Well, then the task owner is person A. And then person B, the writer, this changes to person B once the outline's done, and now it's the writer's turn. And now once it's editor's turn, this changes to person C. And publisher's changes to person D. Sometimes it'll be the same person, but if there are different roles in a company, this is helpful for project management. Oh, my controls are not working. Actually, gonna do some more. Let's do outline link. We're gonna link to the content outlines. Doc link. This is gonna be the link to the Google Sheet or Microsoft Word link of the doc. And then live URL. And then you can even put categories in here too, like what type of content is this? What folder is this going to be in? It's going to be under services, category 1. What's this thing? It's November, so let's do You can do this, or you can just say start. Like we're in the, we still need to start. Whatever you want. I like to do not started. Let's try start though. I'll just switch it up. Start. I'm just filling this out for so you can see it. Dev to publish client, so the client can review. Okay. Oh, I didn't say whether or not this is a new page or not. Let's say page type. It's going to be new page or an existing page. These are all new, but if we're going to use this in the future, you know, we want that to be accurate. So everything's going to be new. So we won't have to, I'll keep the live URL, but for new pages, since all this is going to be new, and I'll probably add in a column that says like potential URL. I don't know what the dev is going to do for URL structure and all that, so I'll just put the potential in there. Or you just leave it blank for now and assign them later. Page type, what am I doing? Post type. Difference between page type and post type is post is going to be what type of content is it? Is it a page or a blog? And then we'll link from there. Oops. I like to remove the grid lines. My wife showed me this a long time ago. Right. later on, I'm probably going to add some, we're at GA data and Search Console data, and so I might add sections for that too, but this site doesn't have any of that. So I can't demonstrate that right now. Merge these. Right, do a little planning here. Sometimes you can, if we want to just do bulk things, we can just bulk this, or do the work in here. So if you have a client and they have someone who wants to implement this stuff in-house, you can do the work in here and then they can implement it. Sometimes clients want to do the implementation themselves, which is fine. Okay, let's start matching these up. Formatting's done, so it's just going to be just unmerge for now. I'm going to filter this to see if I can find the page with this keyword in it. Let's just filter by all. Sort by volume. Let's do this. Let's find dash. I better make sure it's not in any of the keywords, the dash. Well, this looks like slash like this just means homepage. Let's see. Post type page. Page essentially means service or product. You could also add another thing like content type if you want. So it's a page, but is it a service, product, or feature? So for SaaS, maybe you want to do, you might want to lay that out. So for SaaS, I'd create another one, put feature, comparison, or objection handling content, demand capturing content, I don't know, pricing, something like that, because a page can be a pricing page, but it's not a service page. So same with all those others. They're not blog posts, but they're pages. If we go to ClickUp, let's say, here they have all their features. You know, these are all pages, but you can't say they're all service or products pages. Same thing here. Their use case, so I might add use case, case study, you know, type of company they work with or something like that. So Lafayette. I might change. So I'm going to use this first. Let's see. Before I start getting rid of stuff, let's just match stuff up. Okay, what's another keyword? Restaurant construction. That's awful. So restaurant maintenance, you know, commercial kitchen might be the way to go here. Not restaurant maintenance. Let's double check that. Oh, that's a bummer. How did I miss this? Okay, well, I gotta download these and then run these through the grouper as well. I think maybe we should have a page for commercial kitchen as well. I mean, that see, we have restaurant construction, restaurant maintenance, and this is part of the struggle here. Okay, so maintenance contracts, restaurant maintenance. Let's make sure we have those as well. Well, okay, so the reason I've changed these folders and not this one is because this is going to be the first one after this. So this is in this folder. All these others are going to be a subcategory of this. So this is going to be, okay, this is where categories come in. Those two columns I deleted, so I'll probably add those back in. But commercial kitchen, this is going to be, yeah, page. Just to make it easier, I'm going to say I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to keep this closer to the home page. So
Do you want to have some wine with me?
I think these are going to be posts. They don't really sound, they sound more informational. So blog pages. See, there's a lot of garbage stuff in here, but I'm going to filter a lot of this out and maybe combine some of them and then replace Mesa or Phoenix with a city that is relevant to us. One of these 10. But I have to see which one of these are already in here first. So far I've gone through commercial construction, we're going to get to restaurant construction once it's done grouping. I look through maintenance stuff. Now I'm looking for HVAC specific keywords. Although AC, so the tough part is that HVAC covers a lot of different things. So AC, these grouped keywords don't say AC or air conditioning, but it's part of HVAC. So we have to look for those types of things. I'm going to combine these. Okay, I think you get the point. I'm going to go through and do that with all these keywords. I'm going to wait for restaurant construction to get done and add those in. Okay, the restaurant construction keywords are done, so I'm going to import those and add them to our keyword map here.
Wait, I can't watch TV.
Okay, here we have it. might use this as a version. Has good purchase intent. It says Florida. I'll just take that out. Okay, I think you get the point. I'm gonna go through and find all my main pages. They have to match up. One sec. They have to match up with these, and they ideally want a page for all of these. So I'm gonna go through and see if I have. These are all the keywords I used initially. So I'm gonna find matches for a first service page for each one of these, or a group of keywords for each one of these seed keywords, and create a page from there.